We back. Hey, episode 19. We've done 19 of these. Well, we're doing 19 of these things. Can you guys believe that?
You're welcome.
Yeah. All it took was AJ with some consistency. And, someone who knows about wrestling. Yeah, episode 19. How you guys doing? Post-WrestleMania?
The WrestleMania high is definitely gone and over.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially from the Friday that I had one, and then WrestleMania happened, and then we got our daily programming, and I was just like, yeah, that high's gone.
I just know that they try to hype it up so much. Oh, the Raw after Mania, the Raw after Mania. Bro, that shit killed Mania weekend for me so hard. It's all it did was just fucking just kill Mania. It was like Saturday wasn't bad. It was alright. Sunday was really good. A lot of people are coming out saying this is the best WrestleMania of all time.
Calm down.
I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. But there are people out there that are saying that this was the best WrestleMania of all time.
Joey.
No.
Oh,
no.
Brett. It
wasn't bad though.
If Bret Hart made an appearance, then maybe. But, yeah, like Joey said, it wasn't bad. But the ending to night 2 was really good with the Edge, AJ Styles, Pat McAfee, everything coming out massive. Apparently everybody loved the Pat McAfee stuff, and then the championship match wasn't bad. Kind of ended weird, but still wasn't bad. Yeah, Raw killed everything. The Cody promo was good when that happened.
Cody promo was very good.
The Cody promo was good. The Edge, Damian Priest thing was pretty cool. And then waiting 3 hours to get a 5-minute promo from Roman Reigns about, hey, go watch SmackDown was like, what the fuck are we doing here? On top of it wasn't that good of what's funny is people talk about the Raw after Mania, like the crowds are crazy. If you want to see a crazy crowd, go watch the fucking main event from Dynamite last night. That crowd was fucking hype in that match. The Young Bucks versus FTR for the AAA and Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. That crowd was fucking insane. They were so into that match, which I think the crowd was doing pretty good all night, but that fucking main event match, they showed up big time.
It was so hot you fell asleep.
Well, I fell asleep before the main event, so yeah.
It would be Joey's favorite WrestleMania if White Lightning showed up.
True.
Yeah.
That would be his wife's favorite WrestleMania.
If he showed up instead of Cody, or when Roman won, White Lightning showed up at the end and was like, I'm here for them belts.
Yeah. Yep. He's going to take over. White Lightning's just going to take over the role of The Undertaker because that's like he works at a funeral home in real life, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's just the new Undertaker. Who's probably older than The Undertaker. I don't know if he is or not. Close.
I don't know how old that is.
I don't either.
He's got to be around your age.
I don't think he's quite 60, but he's in his 50s.
Yeah, I would assume 50s as well, but...
Yeah.
So you're in your 60s, guys.
Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, overall, it's a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, I think it definitely caught us all by surprise, because looking at, like we discussed last week, it was like, looking at it at paper, this looked to be the shittiest fucking show we were ever going to watch.
Yeah.
And somehow they managed to, I mean, kudos to them, like, for being a billion-dollar conglomerate company, they managed to fucking shine those fucking shoes real good, because it turned out to be a pretty good show. So
yeah.
Or, when I say pretty good show, it's decent. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what saved it.
So, just a little highlight I got it pulled up here are, as we can see, there's a new champion right here. For our picks that we did for WrestleMania. We did night 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. Dustin and I both got everything right except for 2 of them. Joey looks like he got, so it's 14, because there was, like I said, there was 14 matches. Joey got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong. AJ got 4 wrong, and Adam got 3 right, because it's easier to count his that way. So, yeah. And that, I mean, looking at here, the only like I said, the ones I got wrong, was New Day because with their 1.5-minute match that they got, and I picked Omos to beat Bobby Lashley because who fucking knew they were gonna squat? Which I mean, it makes sense now watching Raw Monday. It made sense, why they did that, but yeah, even looking at here, I feel like everything was for night 2 was good because I mean, you had the women's tag team match, it wasn't bad. Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn was way better than expected for all the shenanigans and shit that it was. RK Bro, they retained their tag titles. That was really good. That two of the best RKOs that we've ever seen, with the one that Riddle did off the top rope and where Randy catching Chad Gable. Like we said, had Edge and AJ Styles, Pat McAfee, Roman Reigns, even Logan Paul had a good showing on Saturday. As much as he's hated, he had a good showing. Yeah, Bianca wins her title back. I think it was a SmackDown one that Becky took, but quote unquote, she gets her
redemption.
There you go. That's the way to say it. So, yeah, pretty good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job, even with the stand and deliver, because it's called stand and delivers, not takeovers now. That was a really good show, but then
it was all erased by Monday and Tuesday.
We get Monday and Tuesday, and it's back to the old WWE formula where it's like everything that's happened that was so good days before, you all erase it, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, good old WWE.
I've had lately, last few years, the Raw after WrestleMania has been a big letdown. It used to be just WrestleMania, but lately it's.
And I mean, they still hype it up like it's the Raw after Mania is so crazy, and then
oddly enough, this Raw after Mania, their ratings actually went extremely high, so high that they haven't been that high since I think January of 2019. By the way,
well, I mean, you got Cody,
right?
Everybody.
So no, wait. It's not Cody. Mir's money, baby, or Veer's money, baby.
Shut the fuck up, okay?
Veer is money. Everyone tuned in to see Veer and Ezekiel.
Do we have to talk about this? Because those were two of the worst things I've seen in wrestling, and I don't know how long.
Veer's money. He showed up. He came all over the Mysterios.
I don't like this version of AJ. I don't like WWE AJ. I like AEW AJ more.
He showed up. He came and conquered. Veer's money.
So stupid. Hold on. I can get to that. I can get to that fat real fast. And what he's talking about is someone from Fightful put out a thing on April 4th about Veer. This was at April 4th at 9:12 p.m. when this was published, and pretty sure I think AJ said they did this on purpose. This is the headline for the article about Veer finally showing up on Monday Night Raw. Veer comes hard on Dominic Mysterio, forces him to submit, unloads on Rey Mysterio on 4/4 WWE Raw. And then the three words that start this thing, it's literally 3 words and then a space, and then they'd go into a paragraph. And it says, Veer finally came.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Well, we got Veer. I mean, the Cody promo, we talked briefly about it, but Cody promo was really good. Everyone was like, oh, that was scripted. But I think it wasn't. I think they gave him a hot mic.
Bro,
mainly because you kept saying belt.
Yes, he said belt and pro wrestler. I don't know how many times. He said belt a lot. I think he said pro wrestler 1 or 2 times, but he said belt a lot.
Yeah. So, for his first promo, they had a great match. Him and Seth had a great match at WrestleMania. He comes back. He delivers this promo. It's really good. if it was truly a hot mic and he gave him all creative freedom to what he wanted to say, treat him like the big star. We've always been saying this. Treat him like the big star that he is. I think it proved in those promo skills that he can do this and hang with the best, at least with Seth. Let's see what happens going forward. Right after WrestleMania, they revealed 3 new T-shirt designs for him. Apparently, they're all sold out. So already he's made a shit ton of money there. And on Monday, he had a dark match with KO. I heard it was pretty good. KO did the whole Young Bucks thing, and they had a whole Twitter bio
that why the
back
Twitter,
and forth.
Okay. I didn't know if that's what the Twitter bio thing was about. Okay.
Yeah. So, Cody, great. Veer, greater.
That makes way more sense because I was confused at like why Young Bucks and Kevin were doing anything, because like Kevin just signed an extension. He's not going anywhere. So it's like, why are you two even interacting really on the internet?
Right. Yeah.
But that makes sense.
So like I was saying, Cody good. Veer great.
Okay.
Ezekiel the greatest.
I'm gonna fight you.
Who everyone thought it was LA Knight at first, by the way, which was hilarious because they look very similar. And Ezekiel, the repackaged Elias, he's here. He's a new baby face. He showed up against Kevin Owens in a promo. They don't really do anything, but apparently, always after WrestleMania, someone's getting a push that's a baby face. Apparently, Ezekiel's gonna be that. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Okay, I had to look it up because I couldn't fully remember his name. But whenever it hit his music, he's just straight up generic superstar number 1, first off.
Oh.
Second off, whenever it showed the Titantron first, and it just said the name Ezekiel across
I thought Ezekiel Jackson.
Oh, that is exactly what I did. I had to pull up because I couldn't remember his last name. That is 100% what I thought was Ezekiel Jackson's back. And I was like, why?
Whoa.
I was like, because they just played the music and everything like that. Everybody expected to know. Dude, it's so dumb. And now he's like, oh, while Elias is gone, I'm going to run his social media accounts. It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
I don't know where they're going with it, but it's really stupid.
And the thing that bugs me is like you can't do a flip flop transition between Elias and Ezekiel because you can't. You gotta have the beard to beat Elias. So it's like,
yeah. Just like you said, generic superstar number 1. It's difficult when they've been talking about repackaging Elias for however long, and the first attempt was potentially those same tights design, but he kept the beard, and everyone's like, he's going to look too much like Macho Man. I'm pretty sure no one's going to make that assumption that he's Macho Man. So then they make him shave his beard.
Also, why would people have a problem with that when you had Jay Lethal literally be Macho Man on Impact for years?
Stephanie McMahon wasn't in the building.
Right.
Who cares? Okay.
So.
Vince.
Again, who cares?
Vince cares. He cares so much that he takes a stunner.
Barely. No, I don't know. I loved Elias. I don't know why he needed repackaging. He could have been pushed like he was. He was over as a good. I think he was super over as a heel. Like him and Kevin Owens when they were doing that little thing together. There was that promo they did in Seattle. Like they couldn't talk because people were booing them so loud. So, he knew how to be a bad guy. He could probably be a good guy. I think I don't know if he's ever actually had a full-on babyface run as the Drifter. But, it was, I liked him in NXT, liked him in WWE. He was perfect the way he was, and then...
he's not somebody I'd look at and say he needs a gimmick change.
Exactly, 100%. His gimmick was perfect for him. He could actually play guitar. It was perfect for him, and it worked, and it was over. Like, people enjoyed it. You had the walk with Elias. You had everything. I don't understand the point of redoing his gimmick. Makes no sense to me.
It's another situation like Baron Corbin, essentially.
Yes, 100%.
Like, you got a character, it works.
But they change it for a reason.
It's over. Yeah, it's over with people, and then you change it.
It's Karrion Kross. It's Keith Lee. It's
Yeah.
all of these people that most of them are no longer with the company because they do something stupid.
We can't use those because they are over in NXT. Yeah, they had like spurts of moments on the main roster, but they never made when they made the full transition is when they made the change. Established already. Corbin and Elias were on the main roster as their characters for years, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we don't think this is gonna work. Let's change it and see what happens."
I mean, true, but it's still
same thing with Nikki Cross too. Like when she was psychotic lunatic Nikki Cross, and with Sanity, it worked.
Yes,
but in the eyes of everyone backstage, they're like, maybe we try something else. Well, granted, Nikki's, when she went all good and bubbly, that was a change, and then when she did almost a superhero, that was her idea.
That's the dumbest freaking name I ever heard.
Is it dumber than?
Actually, I had to call out Nikki ASH every time you say her name. So stupid.
I mean, did you like when it was Super Rosie? Because it's basically the same thing.
No, I hated Super Rosie.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't even know who Super Rosie is.
The big fat guy, the small one.
Oh, okay, I do. Yeah, he was with Hurricane. Okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
The fuck?
I never knew him as Super Rosie. I guess I don't know.
Well, I thought he was called Super Rosie when he was with Hurricane. So,
yeah,
superhero in training.
I know what you're talking about. So,
superhero in training.
Hurricane was awesome.
And Mighty Molly, man, come on.
I do remember Mighty Molly. That one makes more sense.
Yeah, I hated that too. I just don't like the superhero gimmicks. It's stupid.
Okay, Joey. Okay, old man, shit.
Yeah. I just like it when the wrestlers go out there and they wrestle, okay?
Well, it's just that
Joey Cornette.
Particular gimmicks I don't like.
Do you guys see that stupid PVC mousetrap that they put in that ring?
Joey will like this, or he won't like this. He'll agree with it because Alexa Bliss hasn't been on TV, and she is very upset. A lot of people.
I mean, they had video packages for her to come back, and then.
Yeah, and they've gone nowhere. They've always stopped as well. They're just like, yeah, we're just over this already. She was called in to show up for WrestleMania, and probably every week, and then they have nothing for her to do. So she's, pretty pissed off.
I got something for her to do.
Hey, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No.
we ain't talking about that. This is a family show.
Yeah, shut your fucking mouth. This is a family show. Guys, I know what they're gonna do. So they're gonna give her some orange and white tights, and she's gonna be Ezekiel's sister.
Oh man,
easy.
Terrible. I mean, just give her make her be the goddess again.
They're gonna change her name to Alexis, and she's gonna be. Yeah. Again, that worked. Which I understand the whole what they did with her with the Fiend, but yeah, now that the Fiend's gone, she should just go back to being really good wrestler. Alexis, well, I don't know, but good. I don't know if I don't want to stretch it. Yeah, she wasn't the best wrestler.
Better talker,
yes,
good wrestler.
But let her just go back to doing what she was doing when she was winning, championships.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Dumb.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. NXT. So, Stand and Deliver, they almost changed the title, all of them, basically. I mean, Dolph was still champion, and Mandy was still champion. They were the only ones to successfully retain. Come Monday, we had an NXT title match for...
Randomly.
Yeah, that was, again, a last-minute call and change for them to be like, yeah, we're just going to add them and see what happens. Braun Breaker regains his NXT championship. Great, good, cool. The whole idea was everyone thought because he lost, he was going to get a call-up. I feel like this could be potentially his audition to see what the crowd reaction would be for him in front of, obviously, a larger crowd or larger audience. Granted, that audience was fucking ass, if you ask me. Everyone was, I mean, they were still in Dallas, so everyone was probably just fucking exhausted from WrestleMania weekend.
I think that's the bad thing with having Mania 2 nights.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, but they're gonna do it 2 nights.
Oh yeah, yeah, because it
forward,
makes a ridiculous amount of money. So yeah.
Yeah.
Money greater than sign quality.
Yeah. So, Braun gets his win. I feel like they didn't chime in the noise, like the crowd noise for him. I could be wrong, but it seemed like it was a genuine reaction from the crowd, and he does the woof 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 like the Steiners used to do. So, I think he was getting a lot of barking chants.
Why didn't they just give him the Steiner name?
You never know. He goes to main roster, and he'll get the Steiner name.
That's true. I mean, they just
Call him Braun Steiner or something.
You can't really say it's because of some kind of bad relationship with the Steiners because they just put the Steiners in the Hall of Fame. So
right, yeah. And Scott Steiner and Triple H were next to each other doing the picture. So
yeah, he should just be, because his name is so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you could give him the name when he goes to the main roster. The Steiners were always part of a main roster type of thing. Granted, there wasn't developmental back then.
Yeah.
But who knows? But it seemed like a good reaction, which is nice.
Because there are times when he talks, like, especially like just around the ring talking, whenever he's loud, you can hear him, where he sounds just like Scott Steiner.
Yeah, I heard that in the match.
Yes,
Sunday.
yes, that's what.
Who's out of the ring? He said something.
Yes, that's where I heard it. Yeah, I was like, "Are you sure this isn't Scott Steiner's son and not Rick Steiner's son?" Because that sounded just. I was waiting for some Steiner math to come out. Speaking of, this a little clip. Obviously, this week has been a pretty crazy week on the Pat McAfee show. At one point, Pat said that he was talking. He was gonna. I guess he had to announce Scott for something like that, and he almost said "noted mathematician Scott Steiner," but he didn't. He said he's like, I almost said it, but I didn't. It was hilarious. It was like noted mathematician Scott Steiner.
He'll be sleeping and he hears Braun yelling like Scott, and he wakes up. He's like, "Is that Scott?" The NXT women's tag team champions, I should say, already Raquel and Dakota lose.
I seen a thing that said that have they had 2 title runs and it's like 3 days or something like that.
Yeah, combined 3 days and it's just
nice,
terrible. It's just so terrible. I'm like, why? Like, I thought it was great that they won. It was like, oh man, it'd be great that they'd get a nice run as champions. Yeah, that nice run was add an additional day and was like, here's your run. There you go.
Yeah.
Go back to Toxic Attraction. I thought they were kind of over the Toxic Attraction for some reason, because I was like, well, they made them, they're hot, right? So you bring the appeal for an audience to be like, okay, come watch the show. And then they lose. I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to get away from it or like build other stars. Then realize there's only like 10 other women on that roster. So yeah,
I feel like that's overshooting.
Yeah, it probably is. It's probably like 8.
Because I mean, like I don't know if you have it listed, but Raquel's and rumors get called up, so take her out. So then you have Dakota Kai, Nikita Lyons, who's still new and in squash match mode, so she's not going towards a title anytime soon, or she shouldn't. EO, Cora Jade, Kaylee Ray.
You got Indy, Persia, all the other like squash people.
The lady that
Ivy Nile,
the one that wrestles in the sleeping gear.
Oh, Wendy Chu.
Yeah.
Ivy Nile's part of Diamond Mind. The chick that's with Briggs and Jensen, but she's new. She's developmental still.
Who's with? I can't. Something Electra something with.
Oh, Electra Lopez with Legado.
Yeah.
So there are no top stars.
Yeah.
Anymore, like Mandy's could be champion for a whole another year, if wanted, technically. So, yeah. Like I said, they fucking erase everything that happens from Saturday, and it starts out with Braun saying he's back. Gunther wants to challenge him. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna have a banger of a match because fucking it's Walter, basically. And Walter can never put on a bad match. And they have a good match. Walter loses, and I'm like, well, fuck. And they have him lose and fucking set up an angle with fucking Dustin, Joe Gacy, as the next challenger because they kidnap Rick Steiner.
I finally booked myself, bro.
Nice. Kidnap Rick Steiner. So stupid.
Yeah. I'm like, how can you use Walter as a setup? Like, what the fuck? Like,
So
you're going back to your old ways of being like.
So do they? So they do realize this is like a weekly show. So this is going to be like. So like, do they constantly keep holding Rick Steiner for like this entire time? Like, is Braun only looking for him on Tuesday nights, or
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
are
Only
the
Tuesday nights.
are the police not involved here for a kidnapping?
Right. Yeah.
It's like this feud's gonna go for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. It's like, oh, my dad's been missing for a month and a half, man. I just haven't found him. It's so stupid.
Yeah. So, I just whatever. Imperium broke up too.
Also stupid.
Eichner and Bartel. Eichner just left Bartel in the ring. He was like, "Fuck this," and I was like, "Oh shit, are we?" I mean, you can easily see that they're going to be call-ups. I have a list of call-up people that are potentially going to go up, but it's like, but I feel like Fabian Eichner is the better of the two, in my opinion. And I was like, are you pushing him solo? That's just fucking weird. But yeah, call-ups. They've got ideas for Raquel. This would be the second time where they've wanted to call up Raquel. I don't know when was the last time she was thought about being called up. Gunta is another one. Bartel as well. They potentially would be going to SmackDown, which I think would be really good.
I had to look it up to confirm. I'm just, if they're breaking up Imperium and they're going to go solo, Fabian Eichner is going to be the new Cesaro.
That would be pretty cool.
He will be the new Cesaro. He's bald, he's foreign, and they say
And he's strong as fuck.
They say on commentary that he's pound for pound like the strongest person in NXT or whatever. So
yeah,
they say that a lot. So he is the new Cesaro.
I mean,
which is probably why they let Cesaro go, because they had Cesaro off Wish on NXT Developmental.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess. And LA Knight. Though they are unsure if they wanted to actually call him up, technically I feel like since he's been in NXT, he hasn't done jack shit.
He was one that I felt was weird to be in NXT.
Yeah.
Like almost everybody else that's went to NXT, I can kind of understand. He was one that I felt like he was more of the main roster guy than a NXT guy. But
in these ideas of calling him up, he wouldn't be a wrestler, he would be a manager. Which, again, would be... essentially, he would be an MVP.
Yes.
Exactly like an MVP. And I'm just like, well, I get it. He's good on the mic, but are you going to shave his head, too, and call him Butch? Or Butch? Budge? Or whatever you want to call him. So, yeah. I think it's stupid.
His name now is stupid, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I can only see how worse it gets from here, but yeah.
So yeah, Dustin. I know Dustin is pretty adamant on this conversation and discussion that's been going around and circling Twitter for the last week and a half. So go ahead, Dustin. I'll let you have this because you're favorite.
No,
Joey's just waiting for us to talk about somebody that he recognizes their name.
That's true too. He's googling all of these people.
Yeah.
He's like, who the fuck is this? Nash Carter of MSK. They're the current NXT Tag Team Champions.
Former.
Soon to be former. Was released the other day. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was due to the allegations of spousal abuse, but it actually is because of the.
What'd you say, Joey?
It turns out they didn't care about that.
Yeah, they didn't. It was because of the old picture from like fucking, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago of him with a toothbrush mustache, being like Hitler or whatever. So yeah, it was because of that.
Did someone confirm that?
I haven't heard, like, fully confirmed it.
Because I know when
there's a lot of sketchy shit that happens back there.
Yeah, so whenever, obviously, just like you and probably the rest of the world thought it was because of the allegations of spousal abuse, like you said.
Right.
Bro, I just know that they, like that guy and his wife or whatever were going through stuff, and Gable Steveson, Matt Riddle, and who was the other? There was somebody else.
Austin Theory.
Yes, Austin Theory just got caught in all of the crossfire. They were getting blasted so bad from everyone.
Well, in Riddle's case, they did drop the charges on that one, but no one's come to light in terms of the other one. Like, Riddle's shit broke the news. Like, I got it on the news here in Chicago about Riddle's case issue thing.
You said you got on the news?
I didn't get on the news.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
I got the news here on my local news about Riddle.
Oh, okay. I thought
I didn't get on the news. Hell
Some random dude that likes wrestling. Hey man, do you know who Matt Riddle is? Yeah, I do. Can you give us a comment?
So, yeah. I mean, it's a very dodgy situation. There's a lot of back and forth. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's like, if these things were really happening, it's like, don't put the shit on social media for like everyone to chime into. Like, there are ways to handle this.
The problem is, and like you said, we probably don't need to go into it too much, but the problem with putting it on social media is that it makes it look more like somebody said, I seen somebody say, it's the court of public opinion that you're doing this in. You're not, like, if somebody's actually doing that, then they actually need to be arrested. Like, charges need to be pressed, not posts need to be made on Twitter. Like, I don't want his career ruined because you posted something on Twitter. I want his career ruined because he went to jail for something that he did because he's a bad person.
Right.
Like, it should go that way. Like, hey, okay, if he's really doing this, you press charges, he gets arrested, legal, blah, 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 whatever happens. Move it on that way. It shouldn't be just, hey, I posted it to Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know those are all way more messy situations than how we just simplified it. That's as Pat says every time he covers Deshaun Watson on his show, if it's true, fuck him. If it's not true, fuck the person that said it. But we're just try to clean our hands with it. We don't want to get crazy opinions out there. But if you did it, you're a bad person. Fuck off. Right.
So, yeah, I see what happens next week with the tag titles. Just be like, shit.
So it's going to be really awkward because they have to address it in some way. So does his tag team partner just come out and vacate the titles? Does he get a new partner? Do they just pretend it didn't happen and, there's a tournament for the vacant tag team titles?
I mean, I don't know. That's a real tough call. I mean, they can't just be off TV.
Right?
Huh?
Not MSK have another member.
Not in WWE, I don't think.
No, in TNA they did, or Impact.
Oh, okay.
There was a third member, but here it was just them two. No, he can't. Trey Miguel's the current X Division champion.
Okay.
So, yeah,
It
a sticky situation. It'll be interesting how they tiptoe around this, essentially.
His new tag team partner, Ezekiel.
I know it's going to be Iconer now.
Yeah, probably. The newest member of Imperium, Wesley.
So yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. In other news as well, Layla Hirsch, she got injured like within a couple minutes of her dark taping match. She just landed wrong, hurt her knee. So we'll see kind of what happens going forward. But yeah, that's definitely. I mean, she's had some momentum. She's definitely been growing as a star. Yeah, of course, it's still on Dark where she's growing as a star, but she's made
she's had some stuff on Dynamite. Yeah.
Yep, Dynamite, Rampage, pay-per-view match.
Because I don't watch Dark, but I've still seen her stuff.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. You know, it could have. Hopefully, it's not as big injury like Rick Boogs. Unfortunately, or he tore his quad at WrestleMania.
T's and P's to Boogs, man. We should have led the show with that.
True.
Get well soon, Boogs.
So, yeah, we'll see about Layla. It'll be interesting for sure. Dynamite, banging show. There was one.
Hey, he's back, guys. He's fucking back. He's fucking back, guys. He's fucking back.
Banging show. Before we go into that, just a little quick for the Super Card of Honor. So Moa Joe signed a contract with AEW. He's back to wrestling. FTR did defeat the Briscoes. That shit was a fucking phenomenal match. That was great. What else do they have? Also Briscoes, I mean, they potentially... Impact has some interest on bringing them back more. They did have another match later, the Multiverse of Matches, their Impact's pay-per-view, where they fought the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers did defeat them.
Pretty quickly and pretty easily.
Yeah.
But the announcers were trying to sell pretty hard of them having 2 matches in one night and all that kind of... The Good Brothers were fresh and all that.
Right.
Plus, Switchblade and Chris Bay got involved as well. So
right. So yeah, the Impact really had interest. Currently, right now, only the Briscoes were doing GCW stuff. So if they wanted to do more and other stuff, you know, Impact would be a pretty good spot for them. As much as they would be really good in AEW and Ring of Honor, Warner Media had made it pretty clear that they didn't want the Briscoes signed due to Mark's... I think he made homophobic comments earlier in his life. Even Mark has gone to apologize numerous times for those comments.
Hey, remember that time 15 years ago you said that thing I didn't like?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, technically we're in that same situation with the whole Nash Carter thing. Or is that his name? Nash Carter?
Yeah,
we're
right.
pretty much in the same situation with him where that happened 10 plus years ago.
Right. So...
And then... There's like another lady come out and said that it didn't happen or something.
Oh no, I think that lady's talking about the spousal abuse stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I believe, and I think through context clues, I figured out that was Wesley's wife.
That's correct.
That was posting all of that stuff about, and then ended up Kimberly blocked her.
Right.
But that was Wesley's wife that was posting all of those things about them. So. Yeah.
Right. So, who knows what it's going to be for the Briscoes going forward? Maybe Warner get a change of heart, but I figure
Joey, to catch you up, Wesley is Nash Carter's tag team partner in MSK. I don't know if you caught that, but okay.
He's like I just googled that. I got it. He's like, I'm caught up now.
He's got a whole spreadsheet on his computer screen of who's who. With pictures and everything.
It's a spider chart.
Roster.
Yeah, there you go. They're talking about NXT. I gotta click on the NXT side. Hold on one second.
He's like, "Where's that tab at? I don't see it." So yeah, it'd be interesting. I think if they were to come back to Ring of Honor or AEW, I figured there needs to be some type of like greasing the wheels. It'd be like, hey, take the chance and the liberty. I mean, they're like I said, they are a really good tag team.
100%. Like speaking the truth here in complete clarity here. I didn't know anything about the Briscoes before we started doing the show. Did something say that they were 12-time ROH tag team champions?
Yes.
They've been there a while.
Because that is fucking insane.
Their entire career.
Because
through ROH.
I think I remember a few years ago where they were making a super big deal about Adam Cole being the first 3-time ROH champion. Is that true? Did I remember that correctly? That Adam Cole was the first 3-time ROH champion?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and like that's the first 3 times. Meanwhile, these guys have been tag champions 12 times. That's crazy.
Well, that's the thing. So, in that division, it was easy, right, to like flip the belts because again, they would. Again, it's also a generational thing. If you think about it, there's been like 3 peak generations stars in Ring of Honor, going back to like. You had Samoa Joe, and this is perfect because when Samoa Joe came out, there's this program between Gresham and Jay Lethal. Joe is part of that first old style Ring of Honor that a lot of us are familiar with, stars like Bryan Danielson, Colt Cabana, CM Punk, Joe, Christopher Daniels, those type of guys. And that new breed, newer breed, which was where Jay Lethal fell into. He was training under Joe. And then the newer generation, whereas Gresham as champion, he trained under Lethal. So I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, so I think Cole fits in with Lethal. Yeah, he falls into Lethal, that second generation where title reigns and everything would be a lot longer, or, program where if you're top champion in WWE, you get like a 6 months to a year title reign, essentially, if you're like Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, John Cena. So yeah, I mean, so I could see why they're like, oh my god, Adam Cole, a 3-time world champion, because the ROH World Championship, there is a lot of prestige to it per se. So yeah, but
nice.
I digress. But going to Dynamite, what did they start with? I can't even remember. Oh, it was Joe versus Dustin's dad. One of them. At least.
No, Adam Cole started the show.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going around. I'm just trying to think of.
Don't fucking forget Adam Cole. Not on my fucking watch. Watch your fucking mouth, dude.
You shut the fuck up. In a squash match, which is funny. When we're talking about Jay Lethal afterwards, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt, they're calling out Joe, and we're like, I don't want Jay Lethal to get fucking lost in the shuffle. And now finally he's in some program with Samoa Joe, and it's gonna be fucking fire between them two, because everything they did in TNA together, in Ring of Honor they would never cross paths, but in TNA they did, and now we're here. Jay Lethal finally gone full heel. I think this is fucking gonna work for sure.
Yeah. And
I think if Sanjay Dutt really wanted to, I think he could get into the ring too, and I think he could fucking...
me and you said both in the chat, that motherfucker's gonna be taking some bumps. If he's hanging out with Jay Lethal and Jay Lethal's feuding with Joe, he's gonna take some fucking bumps.
Take a tope suicida and a muscle buster. The muscle buster is back too, by the way.
Speaking of, okay, I have 2 things I need to say. First off, I said it in the chat. Poor caster, dude. Poor guy. I know his singles record doesn't matter. I like the Acclaimed. Stop feeding this dude to fucking people, okay? At least spread it around and give the other guy some too. I mean, come on, or do something. Stop feeding this guy. This dude back-to-back weeks, he gets a match with CM Punk and Samoa Joe and loses both of them, and never had a chance to win either one of them. That's my soapbox for that one. 2. My favorite thing to come out of this is, I believe it was I posted in the chat. It was I believe Brian Alvarez tweet that said WWE fired this guy. Space. Twice. And it was like, you're not fucking wrong, dude, because when Joe is good and Joe can go, he is one of the best ever. Mic work, ring work, all of it. His just in-ring personality, everything. Ring psychology, whatever you want to call it, Joe is top tier at all of it. And the fact that WWE didn't do anything with him is insane to me. Like watching him come
I
out.
always thought that he has the same build as Kevin Owens, and they like Kevin Owens better. And that was stupid thinking like that.
Yeah.
You know, and plus every time they go to push him or do anything with him, he gets hurt. So.
Hey,
twice?
Don't take anything away from Kevin Owens, you piece of shit. By the way,
no, I love it.
Just throwing it out there. Don't be trying to.
Bro, speaking of, could you imagine a Joe Kevin Owens feud?
That'd be dope.
Like I remember, what was it when Joe came to? It was one of those times where everybody comes to the ring one by one to say they want to be the champion of something. It was one of those, and Joe came down to the ring and roasted everyone. Yes. I think he made an alcoholic joke at Jeff Hardy and all kinds of shit. It's like, just watching Joe do shit like that is just perfect.
His Brock Lesnar, that feud, his mic work on that was really good.
Like he's one of the best ever, and it's like, how does WWE not have anything to do with him? Even when he was hurt and they put him on commentary, he was great there. And I don't know if that was Joe not wanting to do commentary or if that was WWE just replacing Joe on commentary. Either way, I mean, if I was a wrestling promotion, Joe's on my paychecks, on my books somewhere, doing something.
Yeah. At the very least, they could have just put him in NXT and let him do his thing.
I mean, they tried. That's the thing, is his little thing where he came back where he was Regal's special enforcer. I do feel like they could have done that better because it seemed like almost instantly he was in a fight with someone. They could have spread that out a little bit and him actually been like the special enforcer for Regal. I think that could have played off great for a while. They could have done that for a while, but they gave it not even a month, and he was beating up Adam Cole and whoever else that Adam Cole was fighting. It was Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. It was when they were doing their feud. He was beating the fuck out of Adam Cole. I think he ended up in a match with Adam Cole because of it. And yeah, so I mean, they, like you said, like the whole Finn Balor going back to NXT thing, they could have done that with Joe, but hey, whatever. I don't understand how they do it, or why they do it. I mean, we don't understand why they do half the shit that they do, but
yeah, and the media scrum post Supercard, Joe was there and they were talking to him, and as soon as he was released, like Tony was like, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, immediately.
Yes, now. Now.
Yeah.
You need a blank check? Here. Yeah. Take two. Take 2 blank checks. Here you go.
Exactly. So they were trying to work it out and figure that stuff out, because I don't know if it was I think it was after the first time he was trying to get in contact with him, and then at that time Joe was going back to NXT and be whatever they wanted him to be. First it was Scout, and then he started wrestling again. So then, it was just another delay and a delay until finally he was able to, after the whole 90 days, then he could start talking to him.
Talking about Joe going back to NXT, he got a title reign again, didn't he?
Yeah, so that's why in Caster's rap, he's like, Tony, when we were beating them in the ratings, this guy was their champion.
Yeah.
So it was good. I mean, again, Max Caster's the best. He's got the best rope in the raps right now.
Yeah, even John Cena said he's better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Joey's going to take a muscle buster from Joe. Moving on.
I don't know if Joey can bend that way.
He's going to bend. He's like, I'm going to make you fucking bend.
Joe's going to shit his pants.
Just have shit roll down Joe's back. So yeah, Cole, Christian Cage, first time ever, 1-on-1. That was also a pretty damn good match. Like, I give it to Christian. Could still fucking go, even though he had all those fucking concussions.
Bro, it is so weird to see him and Edge do what they're doing right now. I know Christian doesn't wrestle a whole lot, but when he does, he fucking goes.
Like, well, I mean, Edge doesn't go all the time too. It's like about the same.
But when they go, they fucking go.
Oh yeah,
like Christian that dive off the top rope outside of the ring for no fucking reason, and Cole just pushed him away. It's like, but the thing about it is, it's not that they're doing it. The thing about it is listening to them when they were doing their podcast and them getting thousands of questions like, "Hey, you guys coming back? You guys gonna wrestle again?" And that was when Edge was in the process of. Actually, for most of that show, Edge wasn't in the process. He wasn't in the process of finding out he could come back until he had a bike accident and then didn't die while he was out mountain biking. And then he was like, "Hey, maybe," and then they whatever. But still. Both of them, especially Christian, sounded like they had pretty good closure on their careers. Like, obviously Edge didn't, but he came to terms with it. Christian seemed like he was pretty good with where he was at. He was done. So, hearing them talk about and say that so much as they did on their podcast whenever they did the ENC Pod of Awesomeness, to where they're at now is just crazy.
Yeah, and I think it also plays into, they're perfectly fine to accept where they were because of just how that schedule is.
Yeah.
Here, Christian's not having to go out there every week.
Yeah, he's playing manager a lot.
Right. So I think that definitely works for him in his favor 100%. But even to have a match with Adam Cole, who's, pretty much one of the best wrestlers right now.
Oh, hey, don't fucking say pretty much in front of it, okay?
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
It's like pretty much.
It's coming out of my mouth. Right. He's good. He's really good. He's fucking great. He's great.
Okay.
So for Christian to be able to go 1-for-1 all the way through, it's just fuck, shit. I mean, Christian isn't A-list star, but I feel like, yeah, exactly. I feel like they definitely dropped the ball and just end up misusing him later in his career.
Yeah.
But right now he's fucking, it works. And later on, they're supposed to do a promo, and he I feel like he's gonna start going heel potentially. I think also.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Which also would be great. Kind of bad timing on it because it's kind of mirroring. Edge on the main show too as well, but if he comes out to new music and underneath a black light, then things are gonna be like, okay guys, but I think they're which I know they're starting it now with Edge, and now they've been kind of doing it with Christian, where I think they're gonna start using them into, hey, let's make younger talent look good too. Yeah. Like Edge has been back for what 2-3 years now. Something like that. He came back at Rumble 2019, something like that.
Yes,
something like that. So he's been back a little over 3 years. He's got his single run. He got his babyface run. Everything. He didn't get a title shot, or he got a title shot, didn't get a title thing. But now it's like, hey, let's put him in this faction with Damian Priest, maybe Rhea Ripley, maybe Tommaso Ciampa, and let's push these guys. And let Edge help rub off on these guys to get them to the next level.
Right. And I mean, essentially Christian already did that with Jurassic Express. Yeah. He's made them tag champions. So it's going to be interesting where he goes going forward. If he goes heel, I think he could potentially cost Jurassic Express the tag championships.
Next week against Red Dragon. Let's fucking do it, Christian. Let's fucking do it.
I think that could potentially happen. I mean, I don't know, but if he was gonna go heel, it was gonna be heel on them, and he was gonna cost them something. So we'll see what happens there. Going from Edge and Christian being able to go at the age that they currently are, someone who can't fucking go is Matt Hardy.
Okay,
fucking piece of shit, bow-legged hoe.
We do have to pause here because we have been giving AEW a lot of credit in this episode so far for the little bit that we talked about them. That match was one of the worst matches I've ever fucking seen. Jeff Hardy is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Like, if I do an all-time list, Jeff Hardy's on that list somewhere. That was one of the worst matches I've ever fucking... And I like Butcher and the Blade. I think they got a cool thing going. I wish they would get away from AFO or whatever the fuck it's called now. I wish they would get away from that and actually just have a good tag team run of them just themselves. one of the worst things I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. It was so fucking bad. It made no fucking sense. I feel like they even added a cool rule where it's like, hey, it has to be an offensive move to go through the table. You can't just jump and somebody move and that ends the match. Makes total fucking sense. I like that rule. But the whole elimination match where if you go through the table, you're out, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. That was so stupid.
I hated it.
And then
I can't even defend this match.
And
like,
then
it was...
like you said in the chat where Butcher went through a table, so it basically made it a one-on-one match between Matt Hardy and the Blade. And then Jeff Hardy is the one that puts the Blade through the table. Because Matt can't jump off of any fucking thing. So Jeff has to do it. And
no, Matt can't jump off anything. He can't fucking jump, period.
Also true.
He can't fucking jump.
Also true.
He needed an assisted chair to do the fucking suplex
to get
spot.
over the one of the I was just it was so bad. It was so bad. That was my favorite thing that happened though of the whole thing, where we had Matt and Jeff coming out, Jeff's dancing, Matt's trying to talk to him, he's fucking ignoring him. The whole match was awful. My favorite part of the whole thing was like we were talking about it in chat, and AJ goes, "I can't even defend this shit." My favorite thing the whole time. AJ just admitting that he can't defend it. It was great.
No, I can't. I couldn't defend that. Like, there were so many rules, and they kept stressing that it was a no disqualification. Well, no shit. It's a tables match. But because it was an elimination match, they weren't enforcing the rule where it's like, no, you need to leave.
Yeah.
And so it was upsetting that an already eliminated competitor, Jeff Hardy, was the one that put Blade through a table, and they're like, "That's the match." No, it's not. Go fucking run this shit back.
Well, and like I said, if it wasn't for Jeff, Matt would have been eliminated by someone else that was eliminated because Butcher and the Blade were trying to suplex him through the table, which Jeff moved. Dude, it was a fucking train wreck. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully they learned from it because it was awful. I'm hoping Jeff and Matt and whoever else went backstage and just fucking yelled at people because, like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I was just like, yeah, fuck. I was like...
And then you got fucking the AFO or whatever it is. They're feuding with, like, 94 people. Like, they got Sting and Darby pissed off. They got the fucking Hardys pissed off. There's... who else? They're feuding with somebody else. I can't remember who else. They're feuding with other people. Oh, Andrade's feuding with Sammy, too, or, like, over the TNT title shit.
He was.
Well,
not
was.
Anymore.
Yeah, whatever. Stupid.
What else? FTR versus Young Bucks was the main event. Fucking fantastic. Amazing match. I feel like what they could have done, what they did for Joe, which was show a clip from ROH, if they showed the encounter between the two, which is why they're having this, another match or a feud, or add to the feud, I think this probably would have made this match just like even more perfect, because they had backstage segments where they kept calling each other out, but after FTR beat the Briscoes, the Bucks came out and they attacked the Briscoes.
They teleported, dude.
Right, they teleported. FTR came out to make the save. They had another confrontation on the mic. So if they added that portion to like right before this match, I think it would just help build that story more. Granted, you don't need to build anything between these two tag teams because they're both amazing. But again, they were like the last 5 minutes of all the near falls and the close calls. It was just fucking pure magic.
I guess it's fucking. They were trying to set up for the. I don't know if it was the Indie Taker or the Meltzer Driver, one of the two that they were trying to set up for. I know the difference. I just didn't know which one they were doing at the time. But from when they were setting up to do that, and fucking Dax came in, and Nick still did the flip, and then Dax caught him into a powerbomb. The rebound was a little weak on the powerbomb. I don't know if Nick expected to go out of the ring, or if he just missed or something. But still, the catch and the powerbomb was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, I was sitting there watching this match today, because I had to rewatch it today. When I was watching it, what's crazy about this whole feud and this whole thing, FTR's name is literally from the Young Bucks, and they're all the shit that they did on being the Elite whenever when they were the Revival in WWE. Like, so literally, the Revival comes over and they just changed their name to FTR. Now they're feuding with the Young Bucks and having crazy tag team matches. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So, definitely a banger of a match. Definitely even better than their first match that they had, their first encounter. So it's going to be really interesting what they're going to do for a rubber match, essentially, or potentially. But yeah, great match. We'll see what's next.
Hey, I just found where where Joe Gacy's keeping Rick Steiner. You just heard that barking from Dustin's house.
Yeah,
it's Rick Steiner. Dustin hasn't fed him in a couple days. He's malnourished. That's why his bark's so weak.
What they have got planned for Rampage. Rampage looks really fucking good.
It's live this week, isn't it?
Is it this week? I thought it was next week. I think it's next week is live. Yeah, no, it's live next week because it's going to be part of what Battle of the Belts that Saturday, I believe. So this Dynamite, they got Bryan Danielson versus Trent. Fucking sweet. It's going to be a great match. The main event is going to be Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley. And no one spoiled it, but they said that match is must see. A lot of people really fucking love that match.
Should I Google the results right now?
I'm not gonna listen. I will take my headphones off. But I'm pretty sure we all know. I mean, he's fighting Moxley. Moxley's gonna beat his ass.
Bro, he's a champion now, though.
True. But they said that it was even better than the FTR versus Young Bucks match.
Bro,
which I'm
okay. We know.
Pretty surprised.
I'm not gonna read you the spoilers for that match. I haven't even read the spoilers for that match technically yet. But the first thing I see, I'm gonna read this. So if you don't want Rampage spoilers for tomorrow night, I don't know, spoiler alert, blah, 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 whatever. But it's literally one sentence. Bryan Danielson defeated Trent Beretta with the labella lock. This was a really good match. That's it.
I mean, it's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. This Blackpool Combat Club and Best Friends stuff fucking totally works. I think it's been really great. I mean, like you said, Wheeler is champion because now he's the ROH Pure Champion. He does finally have a contract with AEW. All this time, he actually never had a contract with them, which was pretty surprising.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Like he's been there and he's wrestled a bunch of matches, and then it was like last week or before last that it was like, oh, Wheeler Yuta is all elite, and I'm like, hasn't he always been?
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to read this without, because I feel like this is not given a spoiler, but just still a thing. I don't want to read that. Insane non-title match, which was the main event. This was described as a star-making performance for Yuta. The match was as good as the tag match that saw Moxley and Danielson defeat Yuta and Chuck Taylor at St. Patrick's Day Slam. So I won't read the rest because the rest has spoilers in it. But
yeah, so Yuta's definitely becoming a top star.
Yeah,
a rising star, I should say, not top star. So it's definitely gonna be interesting.
The title he has, is that like ROH's like mid card title, or is that?
Yes. So they've got a TV championship, ROH Pure Championship. So the Pure Championship is set in a specific rule format. So you get like
24/7 championship.
No.
Damn.
There's like 3 rope breaks. You only get 3 rope breaks. After your 3 rope breaks, you grab the rope and it doesn't matter. So it'd be like it just goes out the rule. You can only win by submission and pinfall, but it's not a straight pinfall like you would do a finisher 1, 2, 3. It'd be like mat finishing, mat pinfalls. So it's very old school,
like pure wrestling.
style. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It's collegiate style, basically.
So this is the put your opponent's like shoulders to the mat one,
Yes.
and it's done.
Yes, yes. Well, you put your shoulders to mat, and it's a 1, 2, 3. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
not
so-
just a
okay.
yeah. So I think that was a really ingenious way of introducing a secondary title. One thing I did forget to mention during this super card is you kind of see Tony's vision of like who he wants to keep and who he wants to go going forward. So like all the people that lost, he's not gonna probably sign them. So like Rhett Titus, who fought Minoru Suzuki for the television championship, Suzuki beat him in like 2 minutes, and now he's the TV champion. Well, Suzuki is a New Japan star. This is just them again building their relationship, but again, he's not gonna keep Titus. He's not gonna sign Titus to Ring of Honor. So he's like, well, I'm gonna take this belt off of you. It's going to be interesting what he wants to do with Mercedes and Deanna. I think he likes Deanna, but because she's signed as an Impact champion or Impact wrestler, he might be wanting to take the title off of her or keep it on her, and they're just going to have to work around that schedule. Jonathan Gresham is the Unified Champion. It's easy, safe to say they've already had talks of wanting to sign him to ROH/AEW, so it makes perfect sense.
And I mean, technically, if you look at it, like the thing that you just posted in the chat a bit ago of I don't know who that person was, that was like, hey, Jonathan Gresham, if you need some help against Joe and... Or no, he told Joe if you need help against Jay Lethal and Sanjay. So, I mean, I see that happening on Dynamite and whatever shows ROH does.
Right.
I see that crossing.
Well, I mean, yes. Well, Baron Black is like developmental, so it's just he's ass. So
I mean,
hilarious.
Jordan Grace's response was perfect.
Perfect.
I mean, it was hilarious, but
so yeah, those are things that we already knew with the whole Briscoe things. We knew they were gonna lose. I just noticed it's like, okay, where are the seeds he's planting, and kind of seeing where his envision is going forward as their champion. So I didn't see Wheeler actually beating Josh Woods, because Josh Woods actually has appeared on Dark a few times, and I think he's 1-2, so it's not that many, but he easily could have signed him. Now I don't know if he's actually going to do that. When ROH first kind of put themselves on hold, there's a lot of discussion of them signing Bandito. Now I don't know if that's going to happen. So, again, I know you don't want to sign everybody, but, Bandito is actually really good. I fucking love Bandito. Maybe not you guys, because you guys are shit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It was clearly to see where that picture was going and his envisioning. So, we'll see what happens.
it's cool shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool shit.
Just sum it up that way. It's a lot of cool shit. I'm excited to see what they do over the next however much time, because, like I said, honestly, Impact needs to catch up. I think we say this every week. Impact needs to catch up, and they're shooting themselves in the foot by... I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're also hindering themselves from being able to work with
stuff.
Yes, work with AEW, ROH, even New Japan. I feel like they're hurting themselves with taping every month and a half or whatever they're doing. But seeing what Tony does, because AEW obviously has to expand. They can't keep doing a pre-taped second show forever. I mean, they're gonna have to figure something out. I guess WWE pre-taped SmackDown for fucking ever, but still, they're not gonna be able to do that a whole lot. So I think they're gonna have to eventually branch out and figure something out. So it's exciting to see, because they are signing a fuck ton of people. Like, yeah. I don't even know. That's one thing. It's good to see people get obviously rest. I guess you would say rest. It makes it easier for people like Joe and Christian and those people that are coming in. But also, when you haven't seen the House of Black since I don't even know when, like that, I don't like that. So, I don't know.
They were on last week.
No, were they? don't know if I watched last week.
Yeah.
Guess
They were on Friday.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to watch. I guess that he starts watching Rampage too. I barely watch SmackDown. And I fucking love SmackDown. I love the people on SmackDown.
You should have did what I did on Friday then.
Bro, there's no... I don't know how the fuck you did it.
I'm a professional.
At one point, I was like, oh, I'm going to try to watch something, and I wasn't 100% where to watch it. And I think it was like 10, 11 o'clock. I was like, oh, I just assume all this shit's over. And I think I turned it on in time for the tag team match, not the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers versus the Briscoes. I turned that part on enough to see that match, and that was it. I assumed it was over, and then I think you said something, and I was like, oh, I'll watch. If I'd known it was on before that, I would have watched. I assumed it was over.
That was the last thing I watched for the night, was that.
Yeah.
I had... My Friday was... I watched a little bit of Lone Star Shootout, which started at 5. I had only cared about 2 matches, which was Speedball Mike Bailey and Jay White, which was a fucking sweet-ass match. And then Killer Kross versus Minoru Suzuki, and that was a piece of shit match.
Nice.
Suzuki fucking destroyed him again. So Suzuki had 4 matches that Friday and won all 4, which is hilarious.
Isn't this the guy that he had a match with Moxley on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I watched a little bit of that, and then that transitioned into Supercard pre-show. That was an hour. Then Supercard. I didn't watch SmackDown. I left that shit to you guys. I watched Supercard. At the same time Supercard came on. Fuck, there was something else that
Joey's like, I didn't watch anything.
Yeah, I know he didn't watch anything. Supercard was going on. There was something else because I had my laptop open too. So I had Supercard. Impact happened, started at like 9. Supercard was still going. So I had that. I had the Hall of Fame going. And then I had Rampage on my phone. So I had Supercard on my TV, Rampage on my phone, and then I had 2 tabs. One was for Impact, and the other one was for Hall of Fame, because Hall of Fame I only wanted to listen to Steiner's and Taker, because obviously Vader's passed, so I was like, I don't care about his fucking son. So, yeah. So
Fuck them kids.
That's basically what I did for everything until everything ended and it was just Impact, and then I was watching that on my TV. So that was a long day.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it was a long night, I should say.
Yeah, sounds like it. How much of Stand and Deliver did you watch?
All of it. Yeah.
Into 4 hours of Mania.
Yep. Into Saturday. Yep. It was Stand and Deliver. Into Mania.
We get to this Thursday. I was like, man, fuck wrestling. I'm done, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. But for also one last thing for Supercard, the first ROH show under Tony Khan, I think it was like 200K buys.
Oh yeah.
So the biggest, or was it 200 or 20? I think it was 20. 20K buys.
No,
for the show.
It was 200.
It was a 200.
Yeah.
Damn. So yeah,
because the
200K.
You post something that one of the other ones was only 20.
Yeah. So first one, and it's already, people are already liking it. So that's a good sign so far.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find the actual exact numbers. Trying to do it fast. Bro, we post a lot of dumb shit in that chat.
I'm pretty sure I posted on the page. You can just probably go back and reference it, but yeah.
Yeah.
For a show, like Final Battle and whatever their last one before that, it was like ranging between 20K maybe,
yeah,
80K. to see this significant spike for most hype. Granted, they even mentioned it in the scrum where it's like before he had took over, they had some matches on the card or booked, and there had some interest, but not fully enough to be like, oh man, this is going to be a must-see until they announce FTR versus the Briscoes, and then you can see the numbers just spike up because everybody wants to see that match. So, but everyone who was there in attendance really enjoyed it. They loved it. It still felt like ROH, and I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for, that they kind of keep that same atmosphere, which I think, to his credit, I think that's what he's trying to do. I think there was one more. There was a GCW show on Friday as well. I think there was two. One was during the midday, and then one was like late at night, like at midnight. And I don't watch GCW enough to be like,
wow,
yeah, tune in.
You're a fucking slacker, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I figured I would leave Joey GCW and control your narrative. So.
Oh, Joey loves control your narrative.
Yeah. So.
So I did find that you were right. It was 20,000. ROH Supercard of Honor did over 20,000 pay-per-view buys. WON from 2020. I don't know what that is. The last ROH show, Best in the World, did an estimated.
Say that again.
It says WON from 2020. Like the first one says
Red News.
Okay,
You know
sure.
what they?
Man, fuck Dave Meltzer. The last ROH show, Best in the World, did estimated 3,500 pay-per-view buys. So 3,500 pay-per-view buys. Death Before Dishonor at press time is estimated just under 800 buys. So 20,000 was right. So they went from 800 to 3,500, from 800 and 3,500 up to 20,000 for Supercard of Honor this year.
Yep.
So
it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
They're back, baby.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah. Is that all we got?
Yeah. That's really all I
now
got.
we get to take a break until what we got. You said Battle of the Belts 2 is next week?
Yeah, I think it's next week.
That's crazy. Didn't they just do Battle of the Belts in like January or February?
Yes, recently.
Will the actual belts be defended?
Yeah, so this is another thing I can't defend for them. Because
are you talking about having a pay-per-view called Battle of the Belts and then don't have any of the belts defended?
Well, no, they'll be defended, but I hate that during the week though
the belts get defended?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did that for the last one.
Yeah, like the AEW Championship there was a Hangman had a match on Dynamite, and then Saturday rolled around and there was I don't think he even had a match.
Right. So the AEW World Championship and the tag titles were defended that week.
Yeah.
The same thing's happening next week, where Jurassic Express is fighting at Red Dragon on Dynamite, and then
the Texas Deathmatch
on Rampage. So it's like, okay, you're going to do... Already they announced Thunder Rosa versus Nyla for the Women's Championship for Battle of the Belts. But then that's going to leave again. They're going to do TNT, TBS, and then probably FTW again. So it's like, well, I get it. You've got all these championships, but it's like, why are you doing this?
Like literally the entire thing around Clash of the WWE pay-per-view Clash Champions was that every title was defended.
Right.
That was the whole gimmick of the pay-per-view.
Right.
It's weird. Battle of the Belts 2, and the main belt won't even be defended. Nice.
I blame Joey.
I mean, do better for part 3.
I mean, for all the credit we give AEW, they still have their shortcomings. Mostly it's commentary, and camera work, but they gotta fuck
shortcomings like Joey.
They gotta fuck some stuff up every now and then. Speaking of commentary, I know I mentioned it. Why the fuck is Tony Schiavone licking his hands like a maniac, dude? I don't know what the fuck.
Get waffles and catering, bruh.
Bro, get some fucking wet naps or something, dude. I don't know. The thing is, he knew he was on camera because MJF was walking to the commentary table, and you look over, and I didn't know. I thought it was just a one-off of why he did it, but this dude full-on quarterback licks both of his hands, and I'm like, bro, you're not throwing a fucking touchdown. What are you doing? And then MJF walks a little closer, and he does it again. Like, it wasn't a one-time thing. He did it fucking again. I'm like, what is happening, bro? Bro, COVID's still a thing, man. You can't just fucking.
He was like, oh, I gotta warm up JR's balls for him.
Dude. Bro, I was like, what the fuck is happening? What is. It was full on just like quarterback, fourth quarter, need to throw a fucking 60-yard touchdown, lick his hands. I was like, oh, it's fucking disgusting, Shivani. Hope you got one microphone that you're handling instead of passing your fucking germs around.
That's funny.
Stupid. All right, we're done. We're getting to the delusional part. Joey's half asleep.
Yeah, my energy drink did not work.
Yeah, I think what Dustin said too.
What?
Dustin said he had to go poop.
No, I'm good. I did that before the show.
And after the show, and before tomorrow's show. I was going to say before tomorrow's show. They didn't show tomorrow. All right, we're done. We're out of here. We'll be back, I don't know, maybe next week with some other shenanigans. Are we picking Battle of the Belts?
Nah.
Okay, we're not picking Battle of the Belts.
We didn't do it for last one anyway.
Champion remains. We'll have to figure out what the next thing we're doing picks for. But right now, my reign is rolling. That's another thing we should update real quick. As of me winning this championship this week from WrestleMania, I have 2 title reigns. Joey has 2 title reigns. AJ has 2 title reigns. Dustin has 2 title reigns.
And we'll end it with that.
We'll if anybody watches, just drop in the comments how many title reigns you think Adam has.
Or how many you think he'll have by the end of the year.
Also true. Drop both of those in the comments. How many he has right now, how many you think he has by the end of the year. Maybe we'll do a giveaway for the winner. Nobody watches, but still.
When we finally have Adam on the show, it's going to be it's actually Barry Horowitz.
Oh, we're out of here. We're done. Anybody guys got anything else?
Nope.
That's it. We're out. You guys have a good one.
All right.
Bye.